Hello, good people. I'm Ermias Sarafa. I'm a university faculty, and in this series of videos, I'll be sharing my experience, my tips, evidence-based approach on being a successful student in the university, in academic space, or generally. We'll talk about academic success. Everyone is interested to have a success in the academic career. Maybe you are a high school student, you need to join university, or you are a university undergrad student, you need to finish with a good grade to join a master's or a postgraduate student, or maybe you are a master's student and maybe you are aspiring to join PhD, or you are a PhD student, you are struggling with your research proposal, your thesis, dissertation, whatever. I have taught undergrad, postgrad, and also have a number of masters and PhD students. So I'll try to share evidence-based approach and some experience from my personal journey on how to be successful in academic journey. The series is long. We'll have series of talks with me, and also I'll be inviting some colleague experts, seasoned researchers and academics in this space, so that we learn, we share experience. There are many issues you'll mention or you'll talk when it comes to being a success or having to achieve your academic goals. So we'll talk about goals. We'll talk about what is meant by really academic success. For that matter, what does it really mean by success? Again, that is a big depth of thought. But there are a number of things that will affect students' success in academia. It could be study habits, study time, it could be stress and anxiety, it could be a number of distractors. The university and the school environment has a lot of distraction, a lot of freedom, because when you are in high school, there was some kind of control with the family, and where that control as you age starts to decrease, both from parents and from your teachers. So there is a lot of things you might need to balance the relationship, balance many things that go around you. Academic success goes beyond grades and assignment. It's about meeting your personal educational goal and developing lifelong skills. When we talk of academic success, it basically contributes to professional growth and also personal development. And it's very important to be aware of the core dimensions of academic success. Academic success could be cognitive. It may be about knowing, about factual, about intellectual growth, about knowing your subject matter. On top of that, there is also an emotional success, which is about supporting emotion, intelligence. Also, there is a social success when it comes to the support system, family, peers, and everything, okay? So there are a number of key factors that influence these success, and which we'll talk in detail as we move on. One could be your study habits. The other could be motivation and also the mindset, okay? Because you see, motivation and a mindset really help students to focus and also to embrace a number of challenges in the education system. Also, the support systems are important factors. The mentors, the learning environment, your teachers, your colleagues, all these affect an academic success. And there are many things which can help to measure whether there is an academic success or not. Some could be the tests, some could be the GPA, some could be your, later on, your career achievement, could also be a testament of the academic success. But also there could be a number of ways to measure whether one is academically successful or not. It also again depends on whether you have achieved your short-term or your long-term goals. So in the next videos, we'll try to talk of each of the different factors that affect academic success. And there are a number of online resources that help you to understand what it really entails about academic success. It's a whole set of phenomena. So when we say someone is academically successful, does it really mean that is about scoring an A? May not be that one. You see, it is a holistic phenomena which I'll be explaining in detail in the coming videos. Always when we talk of academic success, there is this term that always comes with, that is academic excellence. What does really academic excellence mean? You see, excellence is not just like a talent. It is a strategic learning, okay? It is about smart habits and also a consistent personal growth. And basically, academic excellence is really relevant. It might open doors to scholarship. If you're academically excellent, it will really help you to advance your study and also in getting career opportunities, okay? When someone is having a holistic academic excellence, it also strengthens the ability to solve problems, and also it also builds confidence. So if that is the case, if we agree on what a success and excellence is, then what are the strategies to achieve academic success, academic excellence? The first thing is to define and to set goals, and those goals earlier I've mentioned, be it a short-term goal, a long-term goal. And you need to really to set and define what is your goal. What do you need to achieve? Maybe your goal could be now to complete your undergraduate study with a good grade, okay? A long-term goal could be maybe to become a doctor, to become an engineer, okay? A fruitful professional in the area where you are, you'd be providing service, okay? So having that goal, even when you are a university student, maybe your short-term goal could be finishing your master's research proposal. That could be your goal, okay? Or completing your dissertation, or completing your doctoral study. Those all could be your goals. But having a clarity of mind, setting that goal is very crucial. Parallel with it is also an effective study habits. You see, and again, in the coming videos, we'll talk about study habits. But remember, effective study habits is all about knowing your distractors and also working against them, okay? It also comes with a study space. You see, when it comes to study habits, and if you need to avoid or if you need to run away from the distractors, you need also to think about the study space. And also the other thing is also a study technique referred as the Pomodoro sessions, where you study for like 25 minutes and then you take like a 5 minutes break, okay? Like effective study habits like an active recall, okay? Spaced repetition, okay? Multimodal learning. Remember, all students don't learn at the same mode, because some students are good in listening into audio and videos. You see, some are very good in reading, some are very good in critical analysis. That is why we classify learners as some as visual learners, so prefer visual. Some could be auditory learners. They prefer to learn by listening. I have seen some students who just prefer to just sit in class and listen to the lecture, okay? Some students prefer to learn using logic. These are called logical learners, okay? They prefer case studies, they prefer scenarios. So the best way of study habit could be also to blend in multiple or multimodal learning styles, okay? Another important tip when it comes to academic excellence is also time management, okay? You need to plan your time. You see, time is of great essence, especially for academic success. You need to plan your weekly schedules. You need to prioritize the tasks, and also some smart students really struggle with multitasking, and it's very important to avoid multitasking to get an academic excellence or to achieve your goals. The other important thing is also to build confidence and resilience, okay, and also to cultivate a growth mindset. You see, academic achievement is not a one-time thing. It needs really consistency, it needs resilience, it needs to do things repeatedly. That is why achievement is not really a one-night thing. It needs consistent working, consistent reading. As you do that, it's also very important to maintain balance, you see, because as a student, there are a number of things that will be surrounding you. See, maybe family life, spiritual life, you know, sport activity. All this should be they need to be balanced, and it's very important to prioritize things like sleep, things like healthy foods, and also to avoid burnout. We think that is only people in the workspace that will have burnout, but I've seen also a number of students also, they find themselves in a state of burnout. They study but nothing is happening. They say, I read but I'm not getting it. So you might find them in a state of burnout, and I'll have a separate talk on that one. Okay, so using also multiple or variety of study tips can also help in retention, and also to understand the brain, how it works. The other important tip you can take is also a self-reflection. It's a very important sometimes to sit and reflect, to evaluate how are you really performing. How is your weekly plan? For example, this is January. We are in week 1 of maybe your semester. How is your performance? Have you had your weekly plan? Have you achieved that study plan? Okay, be it for assignment, be it for your study, be it for preparing for your exam, university, national. So all this needs to be well balanced. So in the next video, we'll talk about why smart students really struggle in academically, and stay tuned.